This is a live walkthrough of an Avairto automation sequence that will basically research, write, fact check, and illustrate a blog post based on a topic provided by the user. So it starts out by asking for the topic, and I won't take you through all this, but there are 31 steps. It uses Exa for research, OpenAI, to actually write the post and to do some other things, and also Stable Diffusion to illustrate the post based on image prompts. So I'm going to get out of the builder. I'm going to run the sequence. And for the topic, I'll just say, let's say AI and education. And I'm going to start my sequence. So it starts out by creating some empty storage buckets that it will later use to store the content in the blog post and retrieve it as needed. Next, it goes out to Exa, and these are all items that were published in the last week. So these are very current research papers based on the topic that we provided. Next, it takes all of that research, harvests it from Exa, and puts it in a big bucket of research that we can access throughout this, almost like a RAG model. And then it passes that research to a writer and has it generate 10 headline ideas based on kind of the cumulative research that it has stored. So I can, as the user, now it pauses for me. This is the human in the loop step. And I can review these ideas and select the one that I want to move forward with. So let's see, let's do number 7, scaling expertise, how Tutor Copilot, well actually let's do unlocking the future, how generative AI is redefining teachers' roles in the classroom. So I'm going to just say that's number 1, so I'll say number 1 and go back to autocomplete, and that'll isolate that headline. You see it in the right column under response, and then it passes that headline along again with the complete research to a blog post writer, and it has it generate a complete post pulling all the information that it needs from the research and basing it on the headline that we've provided. And then it saves it to our post storage bucket, so that's ready to use when we need it. And if you look at this post as we go through it, you'll see numbered references, 1, 2, and so on, and these refer to the research articles. So it created a reference sheet at the bottom and then referenced the individual articles where it needed to, within the copy of the blog. So that's pretty cool. Next, it asks me if I'd like to fact check. I'm going to say yes, I would. If I don't have to. If I hit no, it'll skip this step, but we'll go into the fact check step, and basically this passes the blog and the full research to another independent model and has it read through the research, read through the blog, and just make sure that everything in the blog is accurate and makes recommendations as to what can be changed if there are areas of improvement. Once it does and the fact check will be, we'll look at it at the end after we finish processing, but we've got our fact check document processed. Now we can decide whether or not we want to generate an image. We can choose not to by entering 1, 2 auto generates, and 3 lets us enter our own image prompt. So I'm going to say 2, we'll have it auto generate. And so it basically takes the blog post, passes it to GPT-4o Mini, and has it write an illustration description based on the contents of that post, and then it passes the illustration description over to Stable Diffusion and has it draw the image. So this is the image that it came up with. I can stop there if I want. If I hit no, it'll exit the sequence. Would you like to create another image? Yeah, let's do it. Let's hit yes, go back to autocomplete. And so this takes us back to our review step where we're able to indicate what type of image we want to generate. This time, let's do it manually. Let's do number 3. We'll generate an image based on a prompt that I provide. So this takes me to a new loop, and it asks me to describe the image. I would like to generate, and I can say anything. I'll say panda on a bicycle in Paris. Okay, and we'll submit and continue. Autocomplete. And this passes that prompt to the, again, Stable Diffusion. Lets me preview it, and I could do this all day. I could just keep creating images if I want to. I'm going to say no this time, which will exit our automation. And we're done. So now that we've finished, it takes me right to the content that we've generated. So here's the blog post. Here's the fact check document. And it'll tell me there are no apparent errors, but it will also suggest improvements that I can make to the post, which is nice. This is the the body of research that it pulled down, and then all the way down at the bottom, I can get to these images. I can download them directly, or I can copy the URL to clipboard and use them that way. And so that's it. So it took around 6 minutes to talk through it. It would have been faster just to go through it, as a workflow. But it did have several steps along the way for human in the loop, which is really nice. And I could add more of those in if I choose to. So that is an Avairto automation sequence that researches, writes, fact checks, and illustrates a blog post.